We'll call to order the Board of Zoning Appeal meeting for Wednesday, January 24th. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick explanation of tonight's meeting. The zoning staff will present a brief summary of the report or of the appeal. The applicant will be given an opportunity to speak and present his or her evidence. Anyone else in favor or opposition to the appeal will be given the opportunity to speak at that time. The public portion then will be closed by the board will vote to have the board close the public portion, and then we will ask questions of anyone that may have spoken this evening or the applicant. After the discussion, a motion will be made by the board to either approve or deny the appeal, and then it will go forward to the staff on whatever that decision is made. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartol?
Here.
Ms. Owens?
Present.
Mr. Schupp? Present. Mr. Sydow? Here. Mr. Alberto?
Here. Next, we're going to be swearing anyone who plans on speaking this evening. We've got 2 on this sheet and 4 on this sheet. If you plan on speaking, has anyone in here not signed in that plans on speaking this evening? I see no one in the audience that's raising their hand, so those that are going to speak, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm you will tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth before the Board of Zoning Appeals? Say I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. First case this evening will be BZA 24-1. This is 5510 Old Blue Rock Road. Does the staff have a presentation?
I do.
Thank you.
And I want to warn the audience that the monitor is going in and out, so we're just going to do the best we can. Use our imaginations. Okay, so case 1 is BZA 24-1. The address is 5510 Old Blue Rock Road. That applicant is seeking a sign area variance. It's in a B2 general business district. The applicant is Emily Ober, and I believe her associates are here tonight to speak. And the property owner is Edward Zillig. The site's currently being developed and will soon be the location of a new United Dairy Farmers fuel station. On August 23rd, the applicant applied for a zoning certificate requesting many different signs to be featured on the building. Additionally, the applicant requested an internally illuminated LED monument sign in front of the business. That's not part of this case because we're looking at wall signs. From a design perspective, it's staff's opinion the signs are modern and high quality, but the issue is that the area of the wall signage, which exceeds the amount allowed by the zoning resolution. The total frontage of the building is approximately 114 lineal feet. The allowed square footage of wall signs is 1 square foot per lineal foot of building frontage, allowing the property 114 square feet of signage. The applicant is requesting about 140, which is a 22% variance. We have a few zoning issues. 15.55A, signs on awnings and canopies. Awnings, canopy, fascia, and marquees are designated as permanent parts of the building. So that's kind of telling us that awning signs or canopy signs go into the wall sign allowed maximum. 15.8.3G1, wall signs may be permitted at a ratio of 1 square foot for each lineal foot of building frontage. And then we have 2 definitions showing what an awning sign is, and that's in the packet if anyone cares to look that up. There's no way around this site plan. It's hard to read. So you'll just have to follow along with my pointer. So the main issue, mostly, the signage is over the allowed square footage because of the signs on the canopy. And there's going to be 3 signs on the canopy. One is where that red dot is, right here. And for reference, this is the main road, Old Blue Rock Road. So we have one on this side. We have one on the front facing Old Blue Rock Road. And we have one on the other side, which is pretty typical of what you see in a gas station. There's also 2 extra signs, we'll call them, on the building that say dip side and oven side. And they're right here and right here. And then there's the United Dairy Farmers sign with their name on it. From what I understand from the applicant, they're kind of doing a very nice store here that's a prototype for future stores. So they want all that signage so they can see what it would be like when their ideas really put to fruition. So here's an example, or here's what the signs look like: oven side, dip side. So these will be like, one will be on one side of the doors here and the other will be on the other side. And you'll see it more clearly in the next slide. And then we have the United Dairy Farmers logo that will go in the middle here. It follows all the rules from an architectural requirement of the building. And then on the canopies, we'll have this UDF flag, and you can't see it on the screen, but this says UDF here. So that'll be what is on the canopies, such as in the top right corner here. You can see if the monitor comes back on. Yeah, okay, so oven side right here, dip side right here, dip side obviously meaning ice cream, and then food over here. So those are the signs they're wanting. I did speak with the applicant who gave me permission today to go on site and take pictures. When I got there, a construction worker told me I wasn't allowed on site. His manager wasn't there, and that was over his pay grade. So I did the best I could with these pictures. So okay, so that's one side of the building, and you can kind of see the canopy in relation to the building. I'd be standing with my back to Blue Rock at that point. I think a lot of people have likely driven by it and see the progress of it. There's not much to see that you can't see on the site plans anyway. This is one side of the building, and this is the other side when you get down to the end of the cul-de-sac. So in some ways it's a standard gas station, in some ways it's a modern gas station. Staff's findings are in the packet. We go by something called the Duncan factors. In Ohio, we have 7 factors that staff looks at to decide whether or not to recommend approval or denial of a variance application. And I always bold the most three important. So it's staff's opinion the request is substantial. In Colerain Township, we take signage very seriously. We had a problem in the 80s and 90s, as you can see in my strongly worded justification in the packet, with a lot of signs and them being very substantial. So any kind of variance on signage is rare, and we don't usually recommend it. In this case, though, UDF is kind of off on their own in that area, and gas stations such as Wawa that develop within a PD, they often go over what would be the sign limit, and it's staff's opinion that it wouldn't have really been fair to hold UDF to a standard that other gas stations aren't held to. It's staff's opinion the essential character of the neighborhood would not be substantially altered. In fact, I think it'll be improved. And it's staff's opinion the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting the requested variance. So for that reason, staff recommendation is approval of the requested variance.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Just real quick, on the on your report under building frontage signage, the 114 square feet, or I mean the 114 feet.
Yeah, correct.
What's the difference on the square footage between the letters and the VO?
The letters and the BO.
Yeah, like for wall sign number 5, it says 11 square feet, but then wall sign 5 VO, it's 18.67 square feet.
Is that the dip side and the oven side?
No, I'm just looking at wall sign number 5. Number 6 has the same thing. There's 1 square footage and then another square footage.
Is it maybe because they're taking what the overall squareness of those letters are taking up versus the letters themselves? Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah, it's really specifically broken down. If you go to the applicant's justification statement, there's more of a kind of rounded off term.
Well, yeah, I was curious because you didn't do it for the canopy, so I was just trying to get a feel for which number should we be looking at, the 11.1 square feet or the 18.67 square feet for wall sign number 5? I'm assuming if you add up the 55, the 18, and the 14, that adds up to the 87.96. Okay.
And then on the next page, there's wall sign 3 and 4 that add up to 52 square feet.
Well, for the canopy, it's 16 and 16, 32, right?
There's page 1 has 20 feet on it.
Oh, 20 on that page. Okay.
Yeah, on
Yep,
the bottom
never
of
mind.
the first page.
So we should be looking at the higher square foot
Yeah.
for wall sign 5 and 6?
Yeah, we have 20 square feet for wall sign 2 and 16 for the other 2 that are on the canopy.
Yeah, but for the building, we should be looking at the 18 and the 14,
Yeah.
not the 11 and the 8.
Okay, so Justin, who did this, was measuring first, I believe, just the letter size, and then he measured the actual size of the sign.
What the square of
Kind of
the space it takes, yes.
the simple geometric shape of
Sorry,
it.
I thought you were referencing how the next page has it on the top because it cut off kind of funny.
No.
So that's where I got lost a little bit.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions for staff? Is the applicant present? You want to come up and give your presentation? Or state your name and address for the record, please.
Charlie Holdhouse, 817 Ridgeway Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45229.
Thank you.
And first, I want to apologize. We did have permission for you to be on site this morning, but that apparently didn't get through to everybody.
It's fine.
Yeah. So really, one of the big issues with needing slightly larger signs here is just visibility. This property is set back quite a bit from the right-of-way. There's an easement that's there too. So I mean, we needed to be set back an additional amount from the right-of-way because of all that. And that's really the main reason. We're not asking for, double what's allowed here. We just want it to be visible from Old Blue Rock and from coming down that connector, the Springdale connector. So that's really the big reason for this increase in size. It's not to make anything obscene or anything. It looks tasteful. It's in it fits with the building, the architecture of the building. So.
Okay, thank you. Sure. Anyone speaking for the appeal? Anyone speaking in opposition? I see no movement in the audience. Can I get a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made. Seconded? Second's been made. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartolt,
Yes.
Miss Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shupp,
Yes.
Mr. Sydow, Mr. Roberto.
Yes. Mr. Seidel, you want to start us off with any questions for the applicant?
I have no questions.
Okay. Mr. Shupp?
I have none.
Ms. Owens?
I have a question. Just wanting to be mindful of the township's sign requirements and how, seriously they're taking them. And in the kind of staff report, it talks about this may become precedent for other businesses. But then you talked about how it's not fair to have UDF, because they're more like a gas station in some senses, have to follow rules that other. So is this hardship unique? Meaning what will be our rationale if we do start having other businesses? Do we have a rationale for that?
That's a great question. I put in there that it's only with modest confidence that I can recommend approval, because I've never done that on sign before. I'm kind of new, but still. The reason I thought it was fair in this case is because gas stations have a canopy over their pumps that department stores and restaurants don't typically have. So if a restaurant or a fast food place or a department store has 1 lineal square foot per foot of building frontage, then a gas station having the same thing but also having a canopy they need signage on, I thought that wasn't necessarily a hardship, but a reason they might need a little bit more signage than most people need.
Okay.
But I would certainly respect and understand any decision you guys make. I wasn't totally confident.
I think we had a similar situation, the Speedway on Hamilton Avenue, I believe.
Before your time.
It was before my time.
Ms. Owens, any other questions?
No.
Mr. Bartle?
Just one, if you want to come back up to the podium. Just for the record, so this facility is going to have obviously ice cream as well as hot foods?
Correct.
Okay. Like the Speedway on Colerain Avenue up by Rumpke, where you order pizza and paninis and stuff like that?
That would be a question that I associate from UDF.
Oh.
That's okay.
And-
Typically with UDF, Director of Real Estate.
What's your address?
Please.
Your address?
3955 Montgomery Road, 45212.
He is signed in.
Yeah, it's on. This will have our full offering like a lot of our new stores have probably for the past 4 or 5 years. We continue to evolve that. But yeah, we'll have an oven side where you can get hot sandwiches, freshly prepared, as well as we always have our ice cream.
So I was just curious if depending on other board members, if they wanted to get the square footage of the signage down, is there a huge need to have the 2 signs that say oven side and dip side?
It's kind of part of our new prototype. We just opened one over there at Crescentville and Mosteller, and we've opened multiple of this style store. And it's really just to make people aware when they're pumping their gas that we offer that now. Because much like yourself, a lot of people aren't aware that we have a hot food program these days.
Yeah.
And the dip side's always been there, and we like to, advertise that, obviously.
All right, I think I'm good.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
I think you got a good product, and I would agree that having the distance from the road should have a play in this, and I've brought this up in the previous meeting before your time again. We've got some properties that do sit, extensively off the road, so they should be given that disadvantage of being able to give a little more wall sign because of that reason. I don't think it looks obscene. I think it looks like a great product, and we're really not counting the canopy in part of the square footage either, are we?
To get the 100 and, what was it,
114 is only counting the building, isn't it?
That is, but to
That's
get the
the building.
140, that's
Building
counting.
frontage.
Okay. But I'm saying the canopy is, even though it's not part of the main building, it's accessory building.
That was I'll go back to it, the part of the zoning resolution I brought up where it says that in my interpretation, 15.5.5 says awnings, canopies, marquees are designated permanent parts of the building and shall meet all the requirements of the applicable building and code.
Correct. But that would apply to the actual store. But the canopy is another structure that we're not really counting the square footage of that, are we?
For building frontage? Sure.
Are we?
Oh, yeah. It was our department's interpretation that we can't count the canopy as part of the building frontage.
Okay. And that's what I'm trying to get to there is another accessory building that really should allow them some more
If that's
frontage.
your interpretation.
Yeah.
I respect that.
All right, my focus on signs, guys, it's all these big, huge, what did you say was the, no, the one, it's the township of what?
Oh,
Bob Evans Township, where it's a big sign, it's 40 feet up in the air. We're trying to eliminate that, and we're trying to bring them down to a Northgate Mall signage, so that's kind of what the goal is here. And building frontage, we don't want obnoxious stuff. So this is, I think, appropriate for our community. And anyway, I'm done talking. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it with no conditions.
Okay, the motion's been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I think I heard you first. Mr. Bartle got the second. Yeah. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartol,
Yes.
Ms. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Shuck,
Yes.
Mr. Sydow,
Yes.
Mr. Roberto.
Yes. Very good. You can move forward. You see the staff for your proper paperwork. Next case, BZA 24-2. It'd be for 3268 Rock Acres Court. Does the staff have a presentation?
I do.
Thank you. Maybe.
Maybe I do.
When's this on order?
They're working on it today. The trustee meeting last night, totally ruined the meeting.
Well, it's important for them, not for us then.
Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, that's right. Did you hear me, guys? Get this thing fixed.
See this one.
Yes. Perfect. For second.
Oh my goodness.
It's coming, it's coming.
It's waking up. That thing was made in 1997, so could have been bought at Montgomery Ward,
Swollen's.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we have case 2, which is BZA 24-2, and it's Rock Acres Court 3268. They're requesting a setback variance. It's an R6 residential zone. The applicants and property owners are Logan and Molly Sillis, who are in the audience today. Sillis. Logan and Molly Sillis, the applicants and property owners, are requesting a variance to the zoning resolution to allow for an addition to their home. The addition is required to have a rear setback of 35 feet but the house already doesn't meet the rear setback without the addition. With the addition, it'll be roughly 7 feet, 10 inches. However, many unfavorable conditions that could be described as hardships exist in this case, in staff's opinion. The Sillis' home is on a pie-shaped lot, and it's the only house in the area that has this type of lot. This puts their rear property line much closer to their home than it would be on any neighboring property. Additionally, there's already a large deck that is in the footprint of where the proposed addition will be. The one could argue the space is already being used and that a roof and a wall will not substantially alter the character of the neighborhood. The zoning issue we have is from Table 7.2, Residential Site Development Standards. I circled it. Rear yards have to have a 35-foot setback in an R6 district. Bless you. Here's the site plan. So this shows the kind of semi-pie shape of the lot. If you see this diagonal line here, this is the rear lot of this property. Every other property in this neighborhood, as you'll see, has this piece of land as well. And you'll see why they don't. They're kind of on a curve. If they had this piece of land, they would be very close or meet that setback. This is pictures from today, just a few hours ago, showing how close the addition will be to the property line. The presumed property line is where that fence is. It's either right there or very close. The addition will be built where the deck is up top, and below will remain empty. And he'll work with the building department if approved on how to do that structurally. But they're only talking about doing the addition at the top. So a kind of line of sight, it won't be obstructed because there's nothing at the bottom. It will be extremely close to that property line, but the deck is already there in staff's opinion. This shows the back of the house where the driveway is, and that's the addition will be up top right where the deck is. This is illustrating again from a different angle how close the property line is to that deck. It is extremely close. And here's one more angle. So staff findings are exactly the same as the last case, but I'll read the most important ones again. Number 2, it's staff's opinion the request is substantial in nature because it's so close to that property line. I think we have to consider it substantial. However, it's staff's opinion the character of the neighborhood would not substantially be altered. The adjoining properties would not suffer a substantial detriment. And it's staff's opinion the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice would be done by granting this variance. And so staff's recommendation is approval. And I'm going to show you, if my computer cooperates, okay, it's not. One moment. Okay, we're going to end the slideshow. Okay, so I'm going to show you the aerial view so you can kind of see where the property lines are. And I already have it pulled up on Cages. So this is the Sillis' property right here, this kind of diamond, or I've heard it described as a pie-shaped lot. It protrudes into this neighbor's yard quite a bit, and you can see where the deck ends right there. That would be about where the addition would end. But if you look at all these other houses, every house in this neighborhood virtually has this rectangular lot. So that's really what pushed me into the approval category for staff recommendation. Again, this one isn't a slam dunk, but I do believe that nobody will be harmed by this addition. So with that, I turn it over to the board.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? You want to come give your presentation? State your name and address for the record, please.
Logan Sillis, 3268 Rock Acres Court, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45239.
Thank you.
And then we put together a PowerPoint presentation to show a couple things.
Yep, I'll load that up.
So just the first slide is just a little bit about ourselves. My wife and I, we've owned the house since 2016. We have 3 kids, and we both work in Colerain Township, so we actually just built a physical therapy location down here, Beyond Limits Rehabilitation. So we've been in business 2 years, so we're both involved in the community. So I'm one of the physical therapists there. Molly, she works at the Clifford YMCA. And I've lived on the street my whole life. I moved on the same street that I grew up on, so I've been there. My parents and my younger sister also live down the road. So first and foremost, it's important for us to stay on the street, close to family and family support. The little diagram there, you can see it's kind of faded, but my house is on the corner, and my mother, father, and brother and sister live on those stars. So we're about 5 houses down. So we want to do this addition because it's important to stay close to family on the street. You can go to the next slide. So yeah, you guys saw the pictures, but that's the schematic of what's currently there. So we don't need to go through that too much. But so what we want to do, so the reason for the addition is that our house is wonderful. We can make it functional, but our kitchen is tiny. Our kitchen table is smack dab in the center of our house. So the house is newly renovated. We have been working on it since 2016. Everything is wonderful, but we don't have a dining room and we don't really have an office space. And with a growing family, we're looking to move our office to a new bedroom for the kids. So this space would allow us to expand our kitchen, actually have a dining room, a little office nook, and then keep the deck out there to maintain kind of an outdoor living space. So it's almost a need for us if we want to stay in this house long term, just as far as to growing the family. So the hardships that Dave kind of mentioned is that we do have the smallest backyard on the street. Our house is actually the smallest in square footage, 980. All the other houses you can see is about 1050 to 1150. Now we knew that buying the house, I mean, we're not shy to living in a small house. I grew up in one, but because of our yard, it does not allow us to do the addition that we would need to if we want to stay in the neighborhood with a growing family. And our house is already against the setback. I mean, the rules were put in the 90s and our house was built in 64, so I mean, our house wouldn't even be able to be built under these laws currently, and now we're running to the issue is we can't expand it like we would like to. You know, some would say growing family isn't a hardship, but for us, we need more space if we want to stay in this house long term. So it's really an ultimate goal of ours. And honestly, based on the current market, and we would be paying 3 times the mortgage if we had to move in something equivalent to right now. So doing an addition like this financially is going to allow us to live within our means and expand it for our family currently. Long-term applications as far as, you know, what we would like to see out of this. We want to stay on the street. Our family's close. We like our neighbors. We have a decent bit of them here present to testify that they're not offended that we're trying to do this to the neighborhood. And we're invested in the township. We have a business in the township. My wife's worked in the township. And we do a lot just kind of for the neighbors and the neighborhood community. So it's really important for us to get this approved so it can keep us where we're raising our family. And then we had to sign a petition. There's one family that's not here. He's the corner house, the very far upper left star. He works till about 7 o'clock at night, so he wasn't able to attend. But there's signatures on all that petitions of all of our current surrounding neighbors, and they're all giving us the okay on this property, which I think a couple of them were okay with standing up and talking. So that'd be probably a good time for them.
Anyone else? I'll call for him. So are you done with your presentation, sir?
Yeah, that's gonna be the last slide of it, so.
Anyone else speaking in favor? We've got 3 other people that are signed up on the sheet. If you want to come and stand up and give your name and address for the record, I swore you in, correct?
Yes, you did.
Perfect. Name
Hello, I'm Sherry Murray. My address is 3255 Rock Acres Court. I live across the street from the Sillises. So it really doesn't affect me to look at, I won't probably even see it. But I can tell you, of all the houses on our street, their little house is probably the cutest, nicest, well-kept house. So I do know that whatever they do, it will look nice. They'll do it the right way. And it's important to us. We've been there for a long time. It's important to us to keep them on our street. They're good neighbors, good community members, and we would like them to stay.
Thank you. Anyone else speaking in favor?
Good evening. Gisela Dawsey, resident of 3250 Rock Acres Court, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45239.
Thank you.
I am the next door neighbor of the Sillies. I've been there since 1998, roughly 26 years. And they are the kindest, most giving neighbors. They are the salt of the earth, and I will be totally devastated if they left. They have a growing family, and I want them to stay there. I understand the limitations of their dining room and space. Their addition does not affect us in any way, shape, and form. If I could build it for them, I would. I told them if they move, I will be like grieving. I can't allow that to happen. I understand the regulations of the zoning to keep our neighborhoods nice, but they are the most neat and kindest. Logan mows my grass, so seriously, I can't afford for you to let him go. I'm just kidding, but they're the kindest people. Their mom and dad have even mowed my grass. I mean, I just recently widowed, and my neighborhood has been crucial for me to survive this trauma But anyways, I fully support their addition to their house. They're well-deserving people. They have a growing family. They just want to stay in the neighborhood, and we all want him to stay, and their addition won't impact us in any shape or form.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, ma'am. And I have Molly signed up. Are you going to speak, Molly? It's up to you. Come on up. Sure.
Well, my husband gave you all the logistics and the building, all the things that he's really good at, but as far as being a mother and being invested in our neighborhood, I just feel that it's in the best interest for us, but also for the neighborhood and the township. We've just always been invested as far as work goes, our families, our parish. You know, we go to, everything we do is in Colerain Township. It's okay. Everything we do is in Colerain Township, and so I just feel that we invest a lot of our time and energy. So this would be, approval of this would just be nice so that we can continue to do that.
Thank you. I see no one else signed up, so now's your chance if you want to speak. Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
Motion is made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second's been made. Discussion. See none. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes. Mr. Seidel, would you like to start us off this evening? Do you have any questions for the applicant or anyone that spoke?
No questions.
Mr. Shup?
No, I don't. It was
Ms. Owens?
a well-written.
No questions.
Mr. Bartle?
No questions.
Mr. Roberto? The 16 feet of building, I guess, come on up here, the applicant, Mr. Logan Siles. What made you pick 16 feet? You just trying to follow the footprint of the existing deck?
I figure it's already there, so if I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna try to go for everything I can for it, so yeah.
Okay. I mean, could you go with 8 feet instead of 16 feet?
It's one of those things where if I'm already encroaching on the setback, I'd like to try to get the full amount out of it. I mean, the 16 foot is gonna allow for a good substantial space for what I wanna do with it, so,
It's a big space, definitely is.
yeah. Yeah, it adds about 256 square foot to our current house, which really would provide what we need for it. If I go 8 feet, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money for probably not what I'm totally looking to get out of it, so I don't know that I'd be, happy with just that amount.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you. Does anyone have a recommendation?
I'll make a motion to approve the variance as requested.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second's been made. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes. Your motion's been granted. We will, you just see the staff and they'll get you the proper paperwork. Next on our docket, or agenda, is unfinished business. We have none. Approval of minutes for the October 25th, 29th of November, and the 27th of December. We'll go one by one. So the October 25th, can we get a motion to approve the minutes? They should
Make
have
a-
been sent to you in the mail.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion's been made. And a second?
Second.
Second. All right, second. And discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes. The November 29th meeting minutes, do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Owens got you that time. Discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes. The December 27th,
Make a motion to approve.
okay, motion's been made, do we have a second?
Yes.
Mr. Shup? Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shup?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes. Next meeting will be February the 28th, 2024, and you said you had 5 cases?
We do.
Okay. Do we have any administrative matters?
We do not.
Okay. Then do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call vote?
Mr. Bartle?
Yes.
Ms. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Shutt?
Yes.
Mr. Sydow?
Yes.
Mr. Roberto?
Yes, meeting is adjourned.